Today, I have an announcement about my journey of becoming an AI master. Things took a huge turn, so let me fill you in on what happened. First, a little bit of background. When I started this process, I was absolutely scared out of my mind that I wouldn't be able to finish this project. I wasn't sure that I could find the time and the dedication that it took to keep up with it. So, my biggest fear was that I would just fall out and give up. And today, I dropped the class. So, my biggest fear, quitting, I literally just quit. But I'm not a quitter and I'm not running away with my tail tucked behind my legs, or you know what I mean. I'm not running away and I'm not giving up on this journey. I'm just taking a detour, or I found a better road and I'm going to take that instead. What was happening was this class, while excellent, wasn't teaching me what I actually wanted to know. We started on May 16th or 15th, somewhere around the middle of May. They had a kickoff. And all we've done now for a month and a half is talk about mostly statistics. It's Python just showing statistics. It's statistics like college level statistics, and then a little bit more Python showing statistics. We had a class last week titled Machine Learning, where we never even used the word machine learning once. We didn't talk about what it is, how it works, what makes it different from an LLM. None of that. It's literally just the statistics behind what eventually we now know as machine learning. So it's cool. I have the mathematical basis to start from scratch. But you know what? I literally don't care. It's sort of like you saying, man, I want to become a nuclear physicist. And they say, cool, we're going to spend a month and a half going over Algebra 2. Really important if you've never had Algebra 2, but if you've had Calculus 1, 2, 3, linear algebra, differential equations, you're ready to get into some of the good stuff. And I do not want to be wasting 2 years taking university level math classes. Been there, done that, right? So to me, it just felt like a huge waste of time. Just so happens that when I logged into Saturday's lecture, I couldn't get to the lecture because they're harassing me about, oh, fill out this form, give us your feedback now that we're halfway through the project. And I gave them my feedback. Uh, I think of myself as an honorable man, a man of integrity. So I told them the truth. I didn't sugarcoat it, but I wasn't mean. I wasn't accusatory. I didn't say like, you did this, you lied, blah 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 blah. That's not me. But I did let them have it. I didn't pull any punches, and I was 100% honest. And it was probably brutal, uh, but it was not mean. Right? There's a distinction. Like honest, uh, maybe it didn't feel so kind, but not mean. Right? Like you don't like to hear it, but it's true. And basically, I said, hey, like I'm not asking for a refund. I'm not saying you guys are bad. All I'm saying is this class, spending a month and a half focused on learning statistics, is not getting me any closer to where I want to be. So, can you give me one of two things? Reassurances that the next half of this is going to be actual applicable skills, something that's valuable that I could take back to work and say, hey, boss, I learned this new thing in AI. I think it would help our app. Maybe we'll make a bunch of money. Let me build it for you. That's what I want. My boss is not going to tell me to sit at my desk for a week and figure out how to find a best fit line on a graph, or do some k-means clustering. That has zero business value for just about anybody, I guess, unless you're a statistics tutor, an academic professor. Like then maybe those things are important. Maybe some research people, like if you're in biomed, maybe you care about that stuff. But in terms of people who are building useful apps, Y Combinator is not saying, hey, who can do a linear regression for me? Anybody? They don't care, and I don't care, and that's not the future for me. No shade to the people who want to do that stuff. Like I said, it's just not me, right? There's people out there who love doing bookkeeping. I can't stand it. So I don't want to learn that stuff. Like I could do it. I get it. Like it's fine. But it's also mind numbing and terribly boring for somebody like me. I'm a craftsman. I want to solve problems and build stuff. And just sitting there learning math might come in handy one day, maybe, when I'm like, oh man, my machine learning algorithm's not quite right. Should I do A or should I do B? Well, if I understood the math underlying and underpinning the whole thing, maybe that would be helpful. But there's a whole lot of value that I could provide between now and then go figure out the math specifically for that problem when it becomes a problem. That's my philosophy. Maybe it's short sighted. I don't know. Anyway, the school wasn't super excited about my feedback, as you could imagine, but they handled it well and they took it with grace, and I am very grateful for that. And they basically said, "Hey, we're looking at your application to this program. You said you want to build stuff, and you're now messaging us saying this class is not teaching me how to build stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "And I hate to tell you, you're never going to build stuff in this class." I was like, "Okay." So let's not waste any more time with this class. We're not talking about money. I genuinely don't care. My goal is to learn some cool stuff to prepare for the future so I'm ready for anything that comes, right? So he's like, well, we've got some other classes. And he tells me there's this 12-month class, not through MIT. It's through University of Texas of Austin. You know, sure, it's a great school. I don't know much about it, but they've got a 12-month program that's all about actually applied AI, where you learn how to do machine learning, you know, how to build LLMs, how to then use LLMs, how to integrate with LLMs, how to do all sorts of things. I'm like, that's exactly what I want. 12 months is a big commitment. This one was just for the summer, so I thought I could do anything for a summer. 12 months. Whew. I haven't even seen the price of it yet, so it might not even be an option for me. But I was so down, so frustrated, so sad for the last month and a half because I feel like I'm not getting any tangible skills. But now I found a path forward, and I didn't throw a tantrum and just quit and say this is not for me. I just said, "Hey, is there anything else you got? This is what I'm looking for. Can you help me out?" In a very stern, firm way. And they responded well, and I'm so grateful for that. So I'm moving forward, and I did drop my class, but I think it's for something better because I'm not wasting time on things that don't get me any closer to my goals. So I'm happy. I'm moving forward. And on my next update, I hope to tell you how it landed. Catch y'all later.